Show her your face, fill up the space. Barbados needs you right now. Barbados needs you right now. She can't escape being afraid. Fill her with you right now. Barbados needs you right now. Show her your face, fill up the space. Barbados needs you right now. Barbados needs you right now. She can't escape being afraid. Fill her with you right now. Barbados needs you right now. How I fall down, bring with it a sound that points her to you right now. Erase substitutes right now. Fix what we see, and God please fix Barbados. Barbados needs you right now. Let us see you right now. Barbados needs you right now. Barbados needs you right now. Every heart in the world, God needs you to rescue. Storms have come and torn our hearts in two. Barbados needs you. Show your face, fill up the space. Barbados needs you right now. Barbados needs you right now. Storms may come, but when she calls your name, all things change. Kingdoms fall, one thing forever reigns is your name. The anchor that holds her in pain stays the same. Oh, how sweet to know that your great name will never change. The anchor that holds her in pain stays the same. Oh, how sweet
Good night, Barbados. Good night, Caribbean. Good night, the world. This is Marcia Weeks, and you are watching the Marcia Weeks Show. I'm coming to you live from Barbados, and I'm holding in my hand the national flag of Barbados. And you just heard the beautiful national anthem of Barbados. How is everybody tonight? Tonight, we have a lot to deal with. Tonight, we're talking about the Barbados free zones. We started it last night, and we're going to dig a little deeper in it. Tonight, we're going to connect it to the World Economic Forum and what they're calling for. And is it that they're calling for it and our leaders are responding to something outside of the Caribbean? What is going on? We're going to look at Nevis. We have somebody who's going to join us from Nevis. Ross Idrin is going to join us from Nevis, and he's going to tell us what's happening on the ground there in Nevis concerning the free society that these people, these elites, they want to buy 10% of Nevis. So we're going to talk about that and how are the people responding to this in Nevis, and look at this whole new colonialism. What does that mean? And guess what, people? We have a Heather Cole is with us. Do you remember Heather? We started off with Heather at the beginning of this segment of the Marcia Reed Show about 2 years ago, when with Caswell and Maxine McLean. It's like a resurgence of the show happened about 2 years ago, and Heather Cole used to be on Monday nights. I tell you. Well, she's going to join us tonight, and she has a lot to say, and she is a dumpling from the diaspora. So she's coming in with something to say from the diaspora, and I believe on behalf of a lot of you who have been calling me about diasporan issues, and so we're gonna have a chat with her, and just what they see happening in Barbados. All that they see happening in Barbados, that she's going to speak on it. We're going to have some excerpts as well from the march. We're going to look at Apostle Canterbury. What did he have to say at the Parliament, and what did Dawn Marie Armstrong have to say at the Parliament? I love if we could get a clip of also of Michelle. Michelle is in the diaspora, and she spoke up at on the march as well, from giving the perspective as someone from the diaspora. And I thought that people called me today and they said to me, Marcia, I was really impacted by Michelle, and I saw the people on the side of the road. They actually paused and listened to her because the accent is so different. But she's Bajan. She told you she's a Josephine. So and tonight we want you to call in as well. We didn't do it last night because there was so much to be unpacked, but tonight we want to really open the lines up for you, the line, because we only have one line, 236-7000, for you to call in and to give your opinion, give your views, ask a question, make your comments, be part of the show. Come on, this is going to be your time, and that's an important part of the show for us. We also have Victor Young. Victor Young is back, and so he is going to call in tonight, and and tell us what happened at Utah, and he has some great results. We're so very proud of him and what he was able to accomplish there in Utah. But tonight, before we go on, we want to say a good evening, a pleasant good evening to everybody who's joined. Lucinda Allen and Flo Joe and Marva Hunt and Judy Judds, how are you? Monica Inns, Owen Hines, Jefferson Sobers, are you guys liking and sharing? We needed to do that. That's very important. That's a very important part of what we do here. When you come on, we prepare and come on and you share and like and subscribe. All right? Mavis Lashley, Teroni, how are you? Marcia, my namesake. Matthew B, we missed you, Matthew B. Diana, husband, Winnie, Shirley, Vernon Garns. Oh my goodness, Marva Hunter, Jacqueline Aline. Oh, wonderful, Neon Star. CG, guess what? We're going to try to feature one of your. We're going to try to feature one of your placards, okay? Tonight, we want to talk about it. CG, you have about 2 placards that's just going viral online, okay? Lori Bob, oh, I love you all. Patricia Green, you know, I can tell you something, Marva and Lori. It doesn't matter what happened in the day. When I come on here, honestly, and I start to see the comments, and there's a smile. And, you know, and that's when you know you're called to do what you are called to do, you know. Monica and Sandra, how you doing? Galvez! How is hubby? Please say a big hello to hubby for us as well, and your son. Justin, good night. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Marcia. Yes. Sandra. I'll win, Bob. Oh, wow. Thank you for your words of wisdom today. That was really good. Sonia Perch, Izzy, Sharon. Yes, CG is up front, but you know what? CG is a very interesting person. I'm telling you, she's a great person to have on any team, and so she's not just upfront and doing her thing, but CG is in the back days and weeks before we get out there. She's making placards. So remember, if anybody have any plywood and you want to donate the plywood to us, it's the very very thin ones CG needs, and we need a couple sheets of that, and you can ask them to actually cut it. If you want to know the size, you just contact us, and yeah, and we will we will we'll give you the size. And CG has a lot that she has to put on there on the placard. So just contact us 236-7000, and so we would be able to to get that donation and get it to CG. She's a very very interesting person, very creative and very committed. She loves Barbados. And I thank Mr. Franklin. We met her through Caswell Franklin. And listen, Mr. Franklin, if you're listening, we love you. We miss you. We miss you. And we are praying for you constantly that all is going well with you. Yeah. Alana, I picked up that flag for you. She says, my flag, don't bury me. My flag, my country. Dig me up, she says. But please don't bury me. And we're not doing that at all. We're not doing that at all. Okay. Lana says, I will rise again. And I tell you, it's the same thing that they've done with the artifacts for Errol Barrow. I am totally convinced of that. That is what they've done with the artifacts for Errol Barrow. That they have dug it, they buried it someplace. And in thinking that they have buried the artifacts of Barrow in their minds, and spiritually they think that they have buried the party. And that's something for the DLP themselves to work through. But spiritually, people who are spiritual connects with things, and you know what is going on. Okay. And so that is part of what a lot of what is happening in the country, folks. Is I know some of you don't like when we start talking like this, but a lot of it is also connected up with witchcraft. Okay, there is a lot of witchcraft that is happening in the country, and a lot of the leaders, they are involved in these kinds of things. There, I'm told there's even a place now on Bank Hall that a lot of these people in government, they go to, that people that work Santeria, etc., and they seek to bind up the country. And so there are times when even for the show I'm coming on, and you feel like the hose of hell trying to wrap around you. My husband and I had to just hold hands to pray before I come on here, and it's real, people. So I can just imagine what the opposition parties, because there are several opposition parties in Barbados, what they must be under, because these are seeking to hold power through witchcraft. And I'm speaking very clearly to you tonight. All day today, it's a battle that is going on for this country. And those of you who know how to pray must pray. I am completely convinced that they have taken Errol Barrow's jacket and his boots and the artifacts, and that they have buried them. The same thing that they did with the flag. There is a reason that we are seeing that our leader does not wear the flag. Just can't. Can't. Because of what was spiritually done with the flag. You see? What was done with the flag spiritually, they can't wear it. Because of what they did with the flag, they can't wear it. We've made some noise about it because they watched the show. And so they have decided to go away now, and they start to wear just the trident, the golden trident, but can't touch the flag. And we know that they dare not. You dare not come back to the people of Barbados about changing any emblems. It is not going to happen. We're speaking that into being. Somebody said, Marcia, how could you be so confident in saying that? It is not going to happen. You will not touch the emblems. I know people are, let me tell you something. If it is that you want, there's some people don't like the trident or the flag and whatever, not this government to change any emblems. Stick with what you have until you have people there that you can trust. Because you might move this off the flag and tap something else. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You might move this off the flag and tap something else. This is a very demonic government. The very first time I heard that phrase or that term connected with this government, this BLP government, because we've got to name it what it is. We have to name it what it is. The very first time was from Apostle Canterbury. And it jolted me. And the more you think about it, the more you see what is happening, the more you realize exactly what kind of government this is. Yes? So I'm saying that those of you who intend, your intent, let me just speak this to you. Those of you who intend, your intent is to stop this show. Whether you're going to use rumors, you're going to make things up, or you're going to be in some place doing all kinds of foolish things, spiritual things, not going to work. The thing about it is that as we pray, not just me, but as we pray, we see it. A lot of you don't know. You walked that route last week. That route was walked from Friday. There are people who went and walked that route in prayer because the Lord showed them what they were doing. This place is steeped in witchcraft. Do you know what they were doing, guys? They were going ahead of us and walking the route before we get there and pouring stuff on the ground. You all didn't know that, right? So to protect everybody, people went down there on Friday, prayed from Independence Square to Kensington, from Kensington right back up, and undo it, reverse it. That's what you prayer warriors need to be doing. And stop talking the foolishness. Oh, I don't get involved in politics. You don't get involved in politics? Politics? What is politics? Politics it's how things are done. It's governance. Your whole life is politics. So you're telling me you don't vote? If you don't get involved in politics, and you're telling me you vote. This is what you need to be untying this nation spiritually. But I tell them all the time, Carol, that they're no match for God. I am telling everybody listening, all that you are working, there's no working that you're going to work against the move of God in this country. There's none. Why am I saying that? Am I being arrogant? No, I'm speaking in faith. Huh? You are a praying person? When last did you pray? When was the last time you prayed for Barbados? Seriously. How about fasting for the country? How about fasting for the country this month? Those who don't want to hear it, I'm not going to spend the whole night on this part of stuff, okay? But let me speak, please, to people who understand me spiritually. Correct. Politics is all over the Bible. And when they want to get religious and don't want to speak against the leader that they worship, there's a lot of idol worshiping that is happening in the country. There's a lot of idol worshiping, and that is what happened in that church yesterday. The response of the people in the church yesterday. It's a shock that this man could speak about our idol. The one that they put up for us to worship like Nebuchadnezzar. Listen, you're a Christian person, you're listening to me. It's time to pray. There is idolatry in this country where they're lifting up this person. Look at what's happening to this person globally. They have accomplished nothing globally. Name one thing that this prime minister has done globally. However, they are lifting her up. I can understand Traore, Abraham Traore. But what has Mia Motley done for the globe? What has she done worldwide for people to be worshiping her like that? Don't you see that is something spiritual? Huh? It's idolatry. And I'm telling you now, I'm not worshiping any idols. You know why it's idolatry? People get all up in their feelings if you speak about the prime minister. They could get up and they call everybody. Look how prime ministers have been dealt with in the past. Owen was called a drunkard, all kinds of things, labels they put on him from his nose. But you can't mention anything about the prime minister. You're rude, and you're disrespectful because they have put this person up as a god. And I'm telling you, just as they did with Nebuchadnezzar. Listen, when you're doing her a disservice in putting her up on that pedestal as a god. You are doing her a disservice, because all that is going to happen is that God will bring her down and she will eat grass. Nebuchadnezzar was brought down and ate grass. Okay? Another one that was thrown over, Jezebel was thrown over. Jezebel was taken and thrown over by her own people, throw her over. So when you are putting her up on a pedestal and nobody should, say anything against her, people cannot tell me, and don't tell me what all the things she's done in Barbados, because we live here. You want to stay outside and tell us about her in Barbados? My neighbor, or someone who lives close, needed to go to the hospital today. No ambulance. Took hours. A small country like this, where our PM is going to get up and take a flight for $11,000 an hour, and we don't have enough ambulances. The ambulance service is atrocious. You could die before they come. She go to the hospital, you wait 2.5 to 3 days. I have good friends who told me they have their family members die sitting in a chair waiting. Go to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, they had a heart attack and sent there. Die waiting to be looked at. And you're telling me that is a good leader? If at least we could point to one thing, one service that has been improved. We can't fix the water situation yet. The housing situation is not fixed. And you're telling me I must put this person all the way up and I must worship them. And so what happened in the church, in that Anglican church yesterday, was the priest knocked her off the pedestal. In just saying those few words, put her in the place that she belongs and let her understand that, listen, we're not going to worship you in here. We're not going to wash your feet as they did in the other churches. I'm so proud of him. Yes? I'm talking so much, I haven't had a chance to read your comments. But listen to me, folks. I want to share one more thing before I call Mr. Victor Young. I'm going to call him very soon. But I want to tell you something. I was saying between two minds whether to say it or not. But you know what? I'm going to say it to you. On Wednesday night, last Wednesday, after the show, I was, getting ready to go to bed. And I looked on my laptop, and the laptop had just gone. I guess because I was using it for a little bit, then the screen goes black, and I saw 11:11 on the screen, and I kid you not, I literally jumped, and I'm not that kind of person. Some people are, they everywhere, they look the numbers. I've never done that in all of my life. But that stood out to me very, very strongly. And then I looked at my phone. Obviously, it was the same time. And I felt instantly that I needed to pause and to pray. And I prayed. And right away, I heard inside, or felt inside, because you hear people say, I felt this strong feeling inside that I needed to look for the date that I went, the first time I went out with my placard, okay, by myself. And I went and I realized that, it's coming up. It's actually going to be on Friday, October the 10th, right? And I just lay there on the bed and I was reflecting on that. And I'm saying, God, what does this mean? Endure. Please wait with me. I'm going somewhere with this. And so remember now, I told you that I saw 11:11 when I was laying on the bed, and the thought that came very strongly is to look for what date I went on the street with this sign. Yeah. And I said, okay, so that's that. I told Dave about it. I prayed about the whole thing. And on Friday, I met Dolores in town, the lady with the cross. And I said to her, I want to walk back. I want to walk to this spot right here that I picked up where I was 2 years ago, right, on October the 10th. And today's October the 10th. I want to go back to this spot. Would you believe me that when I got to the spot, you see round about where the van is? Do you know what happened? When I got there, I was crossing the road. There was a van, there was a bus, right, coming through. Now that one says number 10. The van, I heard the man said, and Dolores is there as a witness. And the funny thing, I had only told Dolores as we were walking there, I was telling her what happened on Wednesday night about 11:11, right? When I got right here, and I'm ready to cross there, I hear 11. 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, and he just kept saying 11, 11, 11, 11 as I'm crossing, and he kept saying that until I went and stood at the spot, and I said, Dolores, and she looked at me. We were in shock. I had just told her, a little time before, of what happened to me on Wednesday night. So with that, I said I wanted to say something to you all. And I really believe that it means something. I think it means something. I think it means that we are at a transitioning point. I believe that we are in a period of spiritual awakening and there are spiritual revelation. Right? It's a time, I believe, when truth is going to come to light. Where I think it's a time when hidden things are exposed, where there is a shift in our consciousness. I think that this is what it means. Could it mean that citizens in Barbados are becoming more aware, and demanding change? Could that mean that? It's very interesting. I want to hear your thoughts. Okay? Could it mean an awakening, an alignment? Like proper alignment is happening, illumination, knowledge. We're going to see truth clearly. I don't think it's just a number. I think it's a message from the Most High. That's just what I think. But these are the kind of things that you don't have. Yeah, thanks, Dave. The fair has gone. Let me read your comments. Marcia, you have a comment there. I'm not going to put it up. I'm going to speak positively because of what I saw happen. 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. And every time I speak that, it's an awakening that is happening for the country. How about that? How about us begin to speak positively? How about we start to say the people are waking up? How about we change our languaging? Huh? How about we change that? Huh? Yes, at the 11th hour, all will be well. Thank you, Mr. Bob. Bravery showing up. I like that, Angela. I like that. Let us speak what we want to see. Word is power. Yes, he was calling attention to the bus route number. Obviously, M. Gardner. Obviously, that's what the van route was doing. We know that. It's obvious. The van is number 11. The 11 is a regular number that everybody writes. You and I know that physically we write 11. What I was talking about is the coincidence of him saying 11, 11, 11, unless you weren't here when I started the conversation. That when I saw that in my bed, I was told to look up the time when I was at this particular spot. And as I was crossing the road to go to the spot, the driver said 11, 11. Of course, it's the route number. You know, don't we all know that, Ed Gardner? Yes, change is coming. Yes, so we have to speak it. We have to speak it. So we understand it's a number of the bus, and the driver is saying 11, 11, 11. But what is it called? The driver could have said 11, 11 at the further somewhere else. I could have seen something happening further, but it happened exactly at the spot. When I first saw that the 11, 11, that I was told to look up the date for that event. It happened exactly there. Okay? Just reading your comments. Truth, truth, it has started. Believe it and speak it out. Yes. Yes, define the moment. Yes. 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 It was what you call confirmation. It happened, it was two. I had just spoken to the woman and we both just looked at each other like, what? This is not just a show, it is a movement. The Lord has, oh my goodness, Mr. Bob, you need to be on the show tonight. The Lord has been the people's guide. And that's the faith that I have. And so I say to people, don't just look at what is happening around you. Have spiritual eyes as well. Yeah? Right? So okay, it was a Silver Sands bus. I didn't know. It just kept repeating it. 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, just like that. Okay? But even if they normally say 11, it's a coincidence of it happening CG, not somewhere else, but at that particular, the same spot that I was told. You see what I'm saying? It's strange. So I'm just saying it possibly could mean something spiritual, right? And I said to Dave, he said, "You're going to share it?" I said, "I'm not sure, because I know that we have." Mhm. Yeah. So I just want to say to everybody, I just want to say, I don't know how many time he called me Marcia. I don't know how many time he said it a lot. I am saying to us, use it as a sign. The other thing I want to say to you is this. I don't know about you. Those of you who are on social media a lot. I have never seen so many comments concerning the march ever, good or bad. Mr. Bob, you've been on there a lot. And Dave, if you can bring up even what CG, somebody bring up CG's banner for me, please. Do not give up. Do not despair. Yeah. Now, someone put this up on their for Barbados to grow, this woman got to go. Now we've had this. CG, can you tell me how long we've had this banner, this placard? CG's made this placard. I know this is more than a year. And right, somebody put it up. This has created such a storm online. Right? 203 persons liked it. 20 shared 29 times. 273 comments. I don't even really want to go into the comments. But I am telling you, something is turning. Since last year, right, CG? Yeah. This one was different, Angela. Spiritually, I'm telling you. This was different. It was different. Something is changing. At one time, people would not want to share something like this. You know that? There were 29 shares, 203 likes. Yeah? 203 likes. Correct, Sonny? I am saying that this prime minister, that positioning that the country has given her as this deity, it's shifting. We should never put any human being in a position that we can't criticize them. Even Barrow, we had the pastor, we had the Reverend Dean Critchlow, was preaching against him every single Sunday. You know what that is? That's like this show 4 times a week. How are we different from Dean Critchlow, who was preaching against Errol Barrow back in the 70s, or in the that was the 80s? Somebody can correct me on the dates. How is this different? Yeah? Correct, CC Parker. And I am telling you that this Nebuchadnezzar that you have set up, this idol you have set up, and that the world that they have set up, because they're also the WEF and the UN, they are pushing this person as the one that they're going to crown in this region to do their dirty work. I'm hoping we can tonight show you the connection with the WEF, okay, and the connection of the WEF vision and goals and agenda with all that's happening with those 4 countries coming together with the open borders. The open borders are connected to the digital ID. And when we talk like this, you all go away and say it's conspiracy theory. But I'm going to show you, coming straight from the website of the WEF, so you probably will believe that. Yeah? I want to say it to you. Everybody. Dave, if you could get Apostle Canterbury for me. Ready? Thank you, Dave. We're going to do a little snippet from the show, from the march. We have coming up later, Heather Cole is going to join us at 8 o'clock. And we have later in the show, we're going to be also joined by Russ Idrin from St. Kitts, and he's going to talk to us a bit about what's happening in St. Kitts, and we're going to relate it back to what is happening in Barbados, okay? But I want you to know that there is the WEF, that one of the things that they promote is, open borders, and they believe that that is going to help to facilitate the digitization. All of it is connected. You understand? It is all connected. All of it is connected. This march was a lot of energy. Yeah, energy. Yes, it was. It really, really was. So listen, Tanisha, we're not, I see your comment and I'm not putting it up. We are going to speak positively. Can we just, we and decide to speak positively over the country? So this is us at the march on Saturday, and that's the truck, the big truck there, and Apostle is speaking, and he's speaking at the Parliament, right. We're right outside the Parliament, and he is speaking prophetically, and speaking whether people are in there or not. He's speaking. Go ahead, Dave. Thank you.
Good morning, Barbados, and good morning to the loyal opposition. Well, we finally arrived at the Parliament for our first time at the House. Since for the last 7 years, they didn't want an opposition. There's one here this morning. It's time to change some laws. It's time to enact some new laws that will benefit the people of Barbados. I want to say this, ladies and gentlemen, how hypocritical this immigration bill is. There are people who have been living in Barbados for years, who have been trying to get citizenship here. For years. Some have been living here for 10, 15, 20 years. And not one single response from the immigration to assist these individuals. And now you want to bring forth here, and after 6 months, you give them citizenship and make them eligible not only to vote, but also to own one of our Barbadian passports. I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, that the time is here for us to take a stand and to allow this administration to know that we are not going to sit quietly and consider and allow them to keep treating us like we have no say in our own country. I want to send a clear message, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not understand how powerful the Barbados passport is, we have the ability to travel to over 120 plus countries visa-free. And now we are allowing individuals who in their own country cannot even get their own passport, cannot even get a visa to travel to the United States or to Canada, but they are allowed to come here, and in 6 months we allow them to go right through our immigration system on a Barbados passport and allow themselves to freely travel and roam around the world as though they have placed any level of input into making this nation great. I want to stand here today and say, no, we will not allow that to happen. I want to serve notice right here today in front of this Parliament building. This is not a place for bullies. This is not a place where you stand in these halls and treat Barbadians with scant respect. We will not allow it to happen. We will not allow you to make laws without referendum. We will not allow you to pass laws without coming and consulting with us to have a say in how our nation is supposed to be run. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to serve notice right here today that these halls are going to be wiped clean. The Lord is going to give us the kind of victory. We will wipe the halls of this Parliament clean of every force, of every evil, of every negative spirit, of every demonic spirit, of every power that is saying, trample these people, do whatever you want to do with them, and you will get away. I want to say today, they will not escape. They will not escape us, and they will not not escape the hand of the Lord. I want to make it clear, ladies and gentlemen, that today, just as she said, we are sending a message to the Barbados Labour Party. We're sending a message to the Senate. We're sending a message to the judiciary. We're even sending a message to our upcoming president. We will not go quietly into the night, and we will not allow them to run roughshod over us and take away our freedom and take away our liberty. Today, I want them to know, and I want to say it right now, your time is up. One more time. Your time is up. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Your is up. God bless you. God bless Barbados. And thank you, Lord, in our position.
Wow. 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 Powerful. Powerful. That is why, they're afraid of that. The last time Apostle was in that area, and he showed it out as we were passing there, and he says, this day, he says, I destroy, or something he said, the cybercrime bill. And I knew something happened there. And the working out of it, of course, was in Washington, but it happened in the realm of the spirit before it happened there. Yeah? That is what they're afraid of. That is the power of God through the people of God. I say to the church, join in with Apostle. Join in. Why are you staying on the sidelines? Now, when he speaks like that, people say, well, that means, you all want the BLP to get in power, the DLP to get in power. Then there are 4 other opposition parties. There are 4 that I counted. Why are you assuming that Apostle wants the DLP to go get in, or whoever you think in your mind? When we say vote them out, it's not a vote in a particular party. I said on the show already, people, if it's a stick, do it. Just defy them. Do you understand? Marva, I am not speaking that anymore, Marva. We are not speaking that anymore, Marva. We are speaking that the church hands are free. Not that the church hands, that we are saying that church hands are free. I'm talking to myself as well, because sometimes I say these negative things. God is either working, Mr. Bab, or he's not working. What this country is dealing with right now is a spiritual matter. And they're getting ready to go a little deeper. Their conference is coming up October, and they're getting to their plan is to go in a bit deeper. We cannot fight this in the natural alone. Yes, Colin Jones, God is working, but we're not just going to sit down and say God is working. There's something like we needed to have been at the parliament. We had to go, we had to pull our pockets and pay for the truck. You understand? So there are some things that we have to do. And in getting back the soul of this country, it's going to call for the prayer with work and unity. Stuff, don't fight one another. I've never come on the show and tell you to vote DLP. Never. What I've said is that I've generally voted I would say if I voted 3 times, and 2 out of the 3 times I would have voted independent. One I voted from Athletes Party, and the next time I voted for Solutions. And I want to acknowledge Mr. Dave, if you could put up the next clip before Heather comes. I don't want to go, oh my goodness. But we will discuss it together. And so she'll come in at 7, so Dave at 8 o'clock. While Dave is doing that, Heather, give me a thumbs up if you're ready, Heather. She's not ready yet. Heather, can you hear me? Wow, she seems stuck. Okay. Go ahead, Dave, whenever you can. Wesley says, yes, so we can call on the other members and speak to them to come out. Go ahead, Dave.
Good morning, Bristol, sir. We're rushing time. Good morning, loyal opposition. Good morning, loyal opposition. Good morning, loyal opposition. We stand before the building where all the decisions in this country are made. For 7 years, decisions in this country has been made without us. And the most recent decision was to open our borders. The most recent decision was to open our borders. We say that as we protest this Immigration Act, we are not anti-immigration, we are pro-Barbados. And I will give you the classic example of the value of a passport from my own lived experience. Marie Armstrong lived in the UK for just over 7 years. I resided there. I was not able to get citizenship. I was not entitled to obtain citizenship. Citizenship can only be obtained after 10 years of continuous stay and can only be granted by UK immigration and visas. It is unheard of for a person to come to a country and obtain citizenship after 6 months. It is unheard of. It is unheard of. We are not anti-immigration. We are pro-Barbados. Barbadians are suffering. Why are you opening our borders for people to come here and suffer with us? Why are you allowing people to join us in suffering as opposed to allowing Barbadians to strive? Barbadians, the Prime Minister said that they just voted for her and not a party, and we must ensure that we vote her out. We must ensure that we vote her out and the Barbados Labour Party out. 6 months of citizenship and to obtain citizenship in this country is unheard of. You will not use this chance to gain political leverage in this country. Bajans are tired of you. We are overtaxed. We are underpaid. And you sit and make decisions behind these closed doors. These closed doors, and we must sit with our mouth shut. But as I just said, 10 of us making noise is greater than 10 million that are silent, and these marches will grow. As opposition leader, the current Prime Minister hosted one of the largest marches in this country and tricked Barbadians that she was going to do better. She tricked Barbadians that she cared. I know that she is losing her popularity. She is bringing a fresh set of voters to this country. But we, the loyal opposition, say no. Revisit the immigration bill. Allow travelers to reside, but consider the value and the power of the Barbadian passport and delay citizenship until Barbadians. You brag about the 6% unemployment, but you are not speaking of the workers on contract. In the civil service right now, there are workers that after 3 months don't know if they will have a job. How can you say that unemployment is low? There are jobs. Housing is struggling and you are bringing more people to burden our systems to struggle. Barbados will not be reduced to the placing of one prime minister. And if you are within this building, hear us. Your time to be out is coming. Your time to be out is coming. The Barbados Labour Party will be broken up in this country. We will reclaim our country again. We are pro-Barbados and not anti-immigration, and we will have our say.
Oh my goodness, simply on fire. And we did not even have our schedule to speak. But as you know, Dr. Ferdinand is who would normally be carrying a lot of this on the truck. And so on the morning or the night of, he said, Marcy, I was trying to come, but I can't. I have to, my wife, some doctor's appointment. And so we understand that. And so I was going down the road thinking, what am I going to do this morning? We had two. We had Stephanie Williams and we had Zico. And we know that the apostle was coming, and so was Dr. Ferdinand. And, I like to mix up what we're doing so we have people from different groupings speaking. And it's not just one group, on there. And so we were, I'm saying, Dave, what we're doing, what's going to happen. And we were praying and so on. And then when I saw Dr. Dawn Marie came, she joined in, and she didn't come prepared to speak. But Zico had to leave. And, we grabbed Michelle. I wonder if Dave could find something of Michelle at some point for us to play. But I mean, Michelle, oh, we're still having some trouble with Heather. Heather is there, but she cannot hear. She's not hearing me. Wow. Okay. Dave, I'm gonna send you John, the clip from John. And if you can search in there for me and find Heather and play Heather's, please. So Dave, I'm sending you the entire clip from John. And I think when we were before the when we were at any one of Heather's, not Heather, any one of Michelle's CG. Listen. Yeah, she spoke fiercely and honestly. Yes, powerful. And as I said, Mr. Bob, they tried to accuse me of being DLP. That's what I'm accused of. And the truth is that I had what was scheduled was no DLP speaker on that truck. When we started off, the DLP person was Kimar on the truck speaking when we started off early, and we like to mix it up. We would have Lumumba, we also have Bongo, but they didn't want to speak, right? So they were there and they didn't want to speak, so we could not force them to speak. And so, but I couldn't go down the road with the truck playing music, so I grabbed Dawn Marie. And what was lovely about it, she spoke on behalf of the loyal opposition. You'll hear her say that. But you know how people are. They will still say that it's a DLP that organizing. And just so you know, there's no political party, none, has ever given us any money for this march. So when you hear that out there, all 800 and something of you who are watching this right now and those who are to watch, you can let them know that it's a lie. You understand me? You can let them know it's a lie. I raise my hands before you and I can tell you that. And you know the truth. The money comes from you. You, the people. From Dave and I. When Caswell was here, from Caswell. That's how it's always been. Lynette, from her personally. Lynette, yes, she was part of a party, but she didn't take it from her party. Lynette will, as we're passing the hat around, Lynette would have put something in there, you know, to help us to pay for the police and pay for this and pay for that. Queen D, you're crying. I was crying today. I was crying. Queen D said, I'm crying. I'm hurt to see where my Barbados has gone to. But this is the thing that we have to make up our mind. You have heard? Dave, go ahead. Play something from her. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dave. What do you have? Okay. Okay, he's finding it. Okay, Heather, let me know if you can hear. Can't hear? Give me thumbs up if you can hear. Oh, wonderful. Okay, let me bring her in. Hello, Heather.
Hi. I'm having technical difficulties. I'm on my phone.
You're on your phone.
Right. For some reason, the laptop, I can't hear you on the laptop. It's cutting in and out.
Okay, so before Dave plays Michelle, who is from the diaspora, let me just reintroduce Heather to everybody. This is Miss Heather Cole, and Heather has been one of I would say the founding panelists on the show. Heather used to even host for me before Dr. Ferdinand, I believe, was hosting, wasn't it so?
Yeah.
If I have to go anywhere, and I would just give a night to Heather and just be off, you know, and just probably I was teaching. I can't remember how it went, but Heather held a night, and I think it was Monday nights. Was it Monday nights?
So, I think so.
Yes. Anybody remember Heather? Heather is from the diaspora, and that's the kind of show that we have, Heather. It's all of Barbados, and we have an open door. You come and you go. That's how we do it here. On the Marcia Week show, and we are super thrilled that you have joined. People are saying hi, Heather.
Hi.
Yes, and people saying hi. They remember you. Yes. And so, Heather, it's good to see you. So what we're doing, we're reviewing some of the marches, and you would have donated to so many of these marches, remember, you know, and helped in so many ways, Heather. And we're happy to have you on tonight. So this is one of the marches here, and you're going to see Michelle, who's also from the diaspora. And so she's speaking right here. Go ahead, Dave. Thank you.
Good morning, Barbados. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning, Barbados. Morning, Barbados. Woo! Barbados. Morning. My name is Michelle. I lived in the diaspora for many years. I am born and bred in Barbados. St. Joseph, I'm a Josephine, Barbados. I love Barbados. But what we hear outside and what we see inside Barbados are two different things. The vendors out here, we love you. We want you to keep vending. We want to keep you making your money out here. But some of the things that's going on Barbados, we do not like. Morning, Barbados. This is a wake-up call for all those who believe that our citizenship is for sale. Morning, Barbados. We're not about selling anything. Nothing. Our blood is not for sale. Our hard work is not for sale. Morning, Barbados. Wake up. Morning, Barbados. We're not doing this anymore. Let's pay attention to what's going on in Parliament. 2 bills. We're not afraid So we are not saying that no one can come here and enjoy Barbados, but they can't come here and do as they like. They can't come here and do as they like. This is still our Barbados. Morning, Barbados. We want to enjoy Barbados. We want to be able to work in Barbados. We want the wages to be high in Barbados. We do not want citizenship 6 months. No one does that. No one does that. You can't go nowhere and get a citizenship for 6 months, after 6 months. So morning, Barbados. These bills that they're passing in Parliament, allowing citizens carry calm, non-carry calm, 9 months, 6 months, you stay in Barbados, and all of a sudden you can become a citizen. That's not right. That's not right. Morning, Barbados. We're doing this. We're going down the road for Barbados. Barbados, I love you, Barbados.
Well, folks, oh my goodness, that was powerful, Michelle. I tell you, I had goosebumps. And did you hear her keep saying morning Barbados? You know why she was saying that? Let's do a little class tonight, who can tell me what does that mean? She keeps repeating morning Barbados. What was she really doing there? Anybody did literature? We're turning, we have class each night. We have class each night. Anybody, I'm not going to say. What's the interpretation of that? She keeps saying morning Barbados. Bim the Beautiful. Yes, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's what she's saying. Look how the students write. Look how they write. Wake up. Wake up. Are we waking up? Are you up? Patricia, are you up? Celia, are you really woken up? Victorious Lady, is it morning Barbados for you? Margaret Pollard, is it morning Barbados? Huh? Is it morning for you? It's the same 11:11. Do you see it? It is the same 11:11. Enlightenment, awakening. This is a period of awakening. And unless we speak it, we have to speak it, Angela. We have to speak it, Margaret. Shirley, we have to speak it. Jacqueline, wake up. Wake up. In your houses, open your mouth and say, wake up. Good morning, Barbados. Wake up. Wake up. Pay attention. Yes, all of that. And that's what that pastor, that reverend who was so bold enough to say that right there with the prime minister sitting there, the people were shocked. We have to speak it into the atmosphere. Everybody, all of you, almost 830 of you watching, everybody, can you just say, what do we say? Wake up. Morning, Barbados, wake up. Morning, Barbados, wake up. Open your mouth, man. Let's change the atmosphere. Yes? Come on, guys. Listen, I know some of you don't necessarily believe in God and think spiritual. But what Michelle was saying is a message that I got with the 11:11. It's the same message. Where Mr. Bob? Mr. Bob, you better come on this thing. Heather is having some challenges. Mr. Bob, you're gonna have to come in your yard clothes. Come in your pajamas, Mr. Bob. Alvin Bob, you home? You know what? Anybody, you can call in. Call in, please. Come on, there's all of this. I'm just going to flow how it's happening. Heather is having trouble, but we're not going to let the time, yeah. remove the veil. Morning, Barbados, wake up and open your eyes. Wake up and open your eyes. Wake up and open your eyes. When you're talking to the people at work, tell them, morning, wake up, wake up. Yes, Mr. Bobby, if you're watching, check your phone, please. Michelle, all of these people, and the funny thing is that I was trying to get Michelle from when I realized that I might not have Dr. Ferdinand, might, because he wasn't sure. I started to reach out to Michelle. Michelle is not part of any party, by the way, just so you know. Just so you know. Yes? Just so you know. Because what we do all the time, we try to make sure we have a good mixture. Yes, of just regular citizens. But you know, most of the people who are going to want to speak out are politicians, right? Yeah. Mr. Thorne came at the end when I didn't even know that he was coming. When I got to the square, I saw Mr. Thorne there. And we just acknowledged that he was there. We acknowledged the senator who was there, Andre. And there was David Denny from his organization. And that was it. Mr. Thorne never asked to speak or anything because we didn't have him scheduled. It's an open mic that we have. Yeah. Yeah, we might end up having. I was thinking about playing part of Mr. Thorne's speech today. Yeah. So I'm saying to us, folks, that something major is happening. If someone could find Mr. Help me with the show tonight, because you see we're having a little technical issue. If you can find me at least a good 10 minutes of Mr. Thorne's show speech, because I didn't queue it up, and you can put it you can send it to me with the coordinates of what parts we could at least start playing from. How about that? Find the part that we can start playing from, because you know at the beginning he and them were back and forth. And by the way, Mr. Thorne is doing such an amazing job, and he has to go in there and fight with them each week. And so I will not use my platform to discredit Mr. Thorne in any way, and to join in the narrative against Mr. Thorne. I am not doing it. I am not doing it. You see? And so it doesn't matter what label you put on me, because I say I'm not doing that. You can label me. It's okay. I am not doing it. And the reason I am not doing it is because I'm not irresponsible. I understand that this country has one person inside that house, in the lower house. I'm not going to tear him down. If I have something to say to him, I got a phone. And if that makes me DLP, and that's what you want to go and tell everybody that I am, go ahead and tell your lies. Go ahead and tell your lies. I am not going to do it. And my husband will not either. We have made up our minds about that. We are people of principle. Do you understand? We are not bosom buddies with Mr. Thorne. But we understand what he's doing for Barbados. And we will not be part, Dave and I can tell you that. We will not be party to that. You understand? If we think that there's something and he made a mistake, there's a phone. But I ain't doing that on this here. And you cannot convince me that Mr. Thorne is in bed with Mia. Nonsense. It's the same way how you all were talking that I am doing this and Mia will soon offer me a job. You remember that was the talk? That I want a job from the government. You remember that talk? That was that talk up there. And that it was something Mia promised me, and I didn't get it while I'm speaking. All a part of the lies. And some of you who are wanting me to come on here and discredit Mr. Thorne with this program, right? It is for the same reason, the same leaders that you are pushing. I will not use this to discredit them either. All those opposition leaders for opposition parties, you will never hear me. You will never see me, Marcia. Others on here will do whatever, but not me. And if I have anything to do with it, I will not use the platform to do that. Why would we shoot ourselves in the foot? There's some of you that there's nothing good. We can't have, we're not good enough to have anything good. This show is here, and you would join up with people to say, this person is doing it for money, this, that, all these kinds of different things. Some of you tried, but it didn't work to pit one person against the next on the show. It hasn't worked. You're not going to see us come on here and cursing each other either, the panelists. No. Not if Dave and I have anything to do with this show, because we don't operate like that. Principle. You're not going to see me come on here and use my show to tear down Lumumba. I will never use it to tear down Bongo. None of that. There's something called a phone. Or I go and visit. And the same with them. They can call me and say, Marcia, you said something and I'm not sure about it or something. But give up on trying to call me about Thorne. Give it up. It ain't happening. For a time, I missed it on Mr. Atherley. I listened to social media, Mr. Atherley. I'm not doing it on Mr. Thorne. In the end, I started to understand what Mr. Atherley was doing. And I supported Mr. Atherley to this day. I do. Because I'm not stupid. And I'm not irresponsible. Okay? So I just want to send that out there to those who are constantly waiting and sending me stuff and whatever. You know, people who have Thorne's number. That's the funny thing about it. That you could easily clarify what you need to clarify. Ask. When you tear him down, how is he supposed to go in there and function with all of those piranhas? Piranhas is a term inside there. Try to tear him apart. How is he supposed to go in there and function? And then we are outside here tearing him down at the same time. No, and I'm not being distracted. That's the other thing. That sometimes when we address these things, people say we're distracted. No, I am educating. I'm changing mindsets. I'm not distracted. The show is continuing, Carol. The show is continuing. It's not a distraction. Yeah? Because I'm not even upset about it. It's not a distraction at all. Okay? I have a call coming in. Hello, good night.
Good night, Marcia. Good night to the loyal opposition.
Good morning, Barbados. This is Good Morning, Barbados.
This is good morning. Yes. Yes. I want to thank everyone for coming out. It was beautiful. I enjoy, the teamwork. I enjoy the work. But first of all, let me say hi to Dr. Ferdinand Nichols. You are missed. Trust me, Dr. Nichols. If you are listening,
Yes.
you are missed. You are missed. Okay, that is work. I didn't realize it, but that is work. The work that you do, you are missed. Also, I want to say to his family, to his wife, speedy recovery.
Yes.
We're praying for you, and to anyone else. I know we talked about Tony Paris. We lost a member, and I would like to say condolences to the family and friends and to loyal opposition who knew. I don't know him personally, but condolences to his family and to his friends.
Yes.
I want to also say to the loyal opposition, you guys, you're supportive. You guys make it easier to come down Broad Street. You're beautiful people, and I don't take this for granted at all. I don't take it for granted. Those who come out who are having difficulty walking, who have difficulty, I'm happy to see that you came out, and we support each other. We support. It's a fellowship, so we support. It's a community, and we support each other with educating Barbados on some of these issues that we're having here.
Yes, and Michelle, when I called you about Wednesday and asked if you could speak on the truck, right? I asked you, and what was your response to me?
I always say no because it's because of my English. Barbadians, how Barbadians tear down the diaspora by their English.
You mean their accent?
Yes. I have a New York Bronx accent, so yeah.
But you were born right there. You were born right there in St. Joseph.
I was born. I'm born at Queen Elizabeth Hospital. I'm from St. Joseph. I'm from Hornsfield. I'm from Vaughn's. Vaughn's Land in St. Joseph. That's where I'm from. Yes.
and so why did you come up with saying that? I mean, because when you got to the event, I mean, you had told me no.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw the situation was in. Stephanie called and said, "Marcy, I'm not well, and I can't do it." And I'm thinking, Father, what do I do? I heard in myself. I go back to Michelle. Michelle said, But then, you did it. And why did you come up with the Good Morning Barbados? Why?
I've worked in the diaspora for so many years. I used to work for the New York City Fire Department. So I'm a team player. I understand when one person can't do it, the next person has to step up. And that's what I believe in. We all have to step up to fix this situation. We have to step up for one another. For someone who cannot step up, we have to, take the reins. So that's what happened. I just, I don't do that much speaking, but I just felt like, you might as well. Someone has to do it. So I just took the mic, and that's what I was feeling at the moment. And I looked out into the crowd. I see people up on, on the balconies and everyone looking down, and everyone, vendors, and I just said what I felt at that moment.
Yes, and it was powerful. I loved when you said you also said I will even if I have to walk off my sneakers. you said you would march.
Absolutely, that's the passion I have for Barbados. I'm one of those diaspora that's always home, always, from a child. My father sent me back home, for summers. So this being home in Barbados is not, just coming home for vacation a couple of weeks. I'm serious about Barbados. It's really my first home. But I have other obligations outside, so I have to be able to manage both of them. But yes, Barbados is my home. It doesn't matter. My children will probably say that's where she want to be buried.
Let me ask you something though, Michelle. If it's too personal, you don't have to answer. But have you ever voted in Barbados before?
I've never voted in Barbados before. No, I've never voted.
I want you to say that louder because of the foolish things that people speak of. Where they're
Yes.
thinking
Mhm.
that they label everybody who speak out here as DLP. Now you have
No,
never voted in Barbados.
I have never voted in Barbados. I have voted, abroad, but I have never voted, and that's not just because I could not, but I have, like I said, I have other governmental obligations, abroad that it keeps me from doing both. Put it that way, to keep me from doing both. So no, I've never voted in Barbados, but that does not keep me from believing in the people who believe in Barbados. If you are DLP and you believe in Barbados and you believe in lifting up Barbados, then I'm with you as a person, not you as a DLP member. If you see, but there were some other people who are BLP. I have friends who believe in red, who believe in that party. I'm friends with them, but they also believe, in lifting up Barbados, and I try to educate them. I try to keep them, because the diaspora is kind of, when I say blinded, we have other obligations outside. We don't get an opportunity to really focus on the policies and the politics in Barbados, because we're focusing, America has problems right now too. So we're focusing outside. We're focusing on that, and we don't get to see or don't get to hear all of the the intricate details about the issues that go on, because how it's branded outside is different.
Yes.
Just like the pastor said, like you go around telling us that that we're good, everything is okay, but we know better on the ground. We know better that there are people suffering in Barbados, and that's why I decided that I'm going to speak up and speak out.
Yes. Now, before you go though, you said that you've never voted in Barbados, and because you voted in the U.S. because you basically grew up there, even though you were born here. If you had the opportunity to vote in Barbados, would you vote here?
Yes, I would absolutely. If I have the opportunity to vote in I would vote. But like I said, my situation is a little different. Like I said, I work for government, so my situation is just a tad bit a little different.
Right.
But yes, we have dual citizenship. You know that Barbados is one of the places that have dual citizenship. You're citizen outside and you're citizen in Barbados as well. So yes, I would vote in Barbados.
You could, right? You would if you're able, if you get the opportunity, that you would. So and this is the kind of thing that we want people to understand. Michelle, that you and I are people that just love Barbados. We just love Barbados. I've only been here 26 years. I wasn't born here. But then, I probably spent more time in here than you did, though you were born here. But we love the country, and it's not about a party or anything like that.
No, I understand all the issues that we speak about. We speak about low birth rate. Low birth rate. We speak about all the things that affect Barbadians and Bajans at this time, and anything that I can do to lift up Barbados, I do. I'm a daughter of this nation, and I don't do anything outside to take away from what Barbados. When people ask me where I'm from Paradise. That's where I'm from. I'm from Paradise. Where is that? That's what I say. I'm from Paradise.
Yes.
So it's been that way all my life. I've never, I have siblings. They are not, they're born Americans. I'm the only one out of my father's children that was born in Barbados.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm a little different. Yes, I'm a little different from them. So I take, what my father gave to me. That's another thing about the diaspora. We left and we were gone, and as a child, you don't get a choice to choose that. My parents decided that that's what they were going to do. They were going to go abroad to find work, and that's where I ended up.
Yes. What do you say to people who live in Barbados and they say, "I am not going to vote"? Especially you're back now just for a short period of time. You're leaving soon, but you're not live here, but you're here and you see the conditions, you see what is happening. What do you say to Barbadians who say, I don't think I'm voting"?
I think that you have a choice, and one of your choices is not to vote. And that is also a choice, being not to vote. But at the same time, you can't be angry if you don't get what you want, because you did not take that step. The only one thing you have is your vote, is your X. So if you don't take that step, how can you complain? How can you, quarrel about the things that are going wrong, even the things that are going right? You can't, because you did not take that step and use your only power. I don't take it for granted. Our ancestors, our grandparents, they could not vote, they could not speak, they could not go places. So I don't take that for granted at all. If there's something that I feel that I'm not sure about, I think about them. I think about, like, that moves my feet. Like, my parents weren't able to do it. My grandparents weren't able to do this. So that moves me all the time. So that's where I go when I have to make a decision. Like, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice not to make a decision. So you're gonna make a decision. I feel like if you're not sure, then you should be able to get some information about the people that are running. I'm more concerned not about party. I'm concerned about the fellows that are actually being elected. That's how we make change.
Say that again. Explain that. Break that down, Michelle. Because I'm like you. I literally read manifestos, and I look at who's in my constituency.
I'm going to be transparent. I believe, like so many, that Prime Minister Motley, I can't say honorable because I don't believe she's honorable. So I say that that in my own thought, I thought there was going to be some change. Yeah, I believed. 2018 that yes, this is going to happen. Like, we got a woman on board, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
That was like my mentality, my mindset. But through the years, she has shown that this is not her place. This is not, she has no future for Barbados. She has no. Someone said to me, she thinks in projects. She doesn't think in longevity. And I said, yes, that's exactly what it is. Like, everything is a project. Everything is. There's nothing consistent about it. Nothing. One thing doesn't lead to another. One thing doesn't build on the next thing. And I struggle with trying to understand the decisions that are being made right now. So yes, I was one of those that believed also that she was going to make change. But 7 years, and I see people who cannot get on the bus, cannot need milk for their children. There's always going to be a segment that we're always going to have to help. But it seems like it's a downturn. I buy gas here too. A gallon of gas, it's about by the liter, but that's like $8-9 US dollars for a gallon. That's 4 liters. It's just crazy. It's just crazy to me, and I don't see how the wages can match what the expenses are to live in Barbados. So I'm struggling here. When I come home, I don't live like a celebrity or live like I'm a guest here. I live like a Barbadian. I got to go to the supermarket. I got to put gas, in the car. I have to do those things too. And I understand, and I see it, and it brings tears to my eyes to believe that this is the place that I love so much, and we just can't get ahead. And there's another thing that I would like the opposition to also take consideration. When you're struggling to think about every day, the kitchen, what we call kitchen items, your lights, your rent, how you're going to get on the bus. This is also how they keep you down and keep you from being able to pay attention to what's going on in Parliament, because you're so busy trying to survive. You're so busy trying to figure out how I'm going to get uniforms, the kids need books, who's got to get on the bus, who needs lunch money, that you can't even focus on the things on the outside. You're so focused inward. So I just want Visions to understand that is also the plot here. That is also the plan, to keep you so focused and to keep you trying to keep your head above water that you can't focus on what they're actually doing in Parliament. Yes. And we have to now think about, we have to do a little bit. And I don't want to say, some people may say, well, Michelle, you can say that because, your situation is a little different. But I can honestly tell you, I'm no different than anyone else. I lived in the U.S. I struggled as a raising my children too, but I had to understand that I had to do both. I had to understand where I'm living. I had to understand to survive. I had to understand what's going on in my household also. And I would love Barbadians to understand that, yes, the diaspora is here for you. The diaspora believes in you, and we love you. And anything that, like we can help, we want to come home to help. And that's how I feel about Barbados. And I love Barbados, and I want Barbados to do better. One Barbados.
One Barbados. And can we say anything else that you do? Can we mention that, or you don't want us to do it?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, you can.
I can say it?
Yes, you can.
well, listen, a lot of you, especially Miss Judy, my Judy Jilks. Where my Judy Jilks at? Judy Jilks, you love to dance. Michelle is one of those that's behind these songs, And funny enough, most of these songwriters and producers, they are coming from, they're from the diaspora. Majority, not all, but majority of the people that are writing songs, Michelle, I found out today, they don't live here. Isn't that funny?
Well,
they don't even live here.
That's the passion. That's the passion we have for Barbados. We love it so much that we can write a song about it.
Listen, I know that Judy Jill, she loved the one about the truck. What's that one again?
Yes.
The big truck.
Behind the big truck.
Behind the big truck. Judy, where you are? When I see Judy. Yeah. Anybody have their favorite song? What's your favorite song? Put it in the comment section. So far, what's your favorite revolution song? So these are people from the diaspora, and I love the diaspora because you guys, your minds are expanded. You've lived up there, and when I love it. I love talking to you all. When you've left today, I was telling somebody I'm going to feel like a fish out of water. Because I can call you and connect with you.
Marcia, all these things being in the all my leadership qualities. This is not a problem. This is just natural for me, and I know I say this because I know I hear the diaspora, or I hear like in the comments, they always talking about American education. What kind of education your kids are going to get in America? But I'm one of them. I'm one of them that went to public school in America, and I got an absolute good, beautiful education. Went straight through all the tertiary, straight through, and got an education. And that's what I bring home. I bring home to Barbados anything that I know, anything that I can help out with. That's what I do.
Well, listen, before you go, somebody said they like March, but they love March. Dave, if you can put that up and give us a little teeny bit of that. Listen.
We loyal, we strong, we free. For the people, unity. Rain or shine on the road. We mashing up the road. Big truck, loyal opposition.
Listen, on March, when you did March, now, some people say that particular one, I mean, people either love that song or they hate that song, because that to me is a war song.
I just think about something, and I know we had that big truck, and I said, yeah, this one needs a song. So
yeah, I love it.
We know what it takes to get that truck, because we had to pay for it, donations, and I want to thank everybody to help us put that truck on the road. I had to write a
progress time comes on the alarm, and we don't care what the BLP say or what they say we are, and we need to fight the BLP and to set Barbados free. We are blood, fire, comrades, and we march into victory. Everything them pop down, we are go build back, better than before. Everything them take away, we are go bring back. We are the asset to right and restore. Time come to ease off the pressure, cause Barbados can't take no more. We are stepping out of darkness into the light and kick down corruption. We are marching on to progress. Time comes sound the alarm, and we don't care what the BLP say
you know, and because that song says, and I
That
hope
song is very controversial. That is not an original song. That is a cover. That is that's actually a Jamaican song from you know, politics in Jamaica. It just so happened I just helped to reorganize it so that it can fit our what we need. I know that there was an issue with the BLP, the line about BLP.
that we're gonna to fight the BLP. And what because you know you and I know that when you sent me that song, I loved it, and I said to you, but you have to change this line. I said I wanted to change this line and put government, and you said no. And tell me what was your thinking?
Because the only government you have is a BLP. So who are we fighting? You're fighting the BLP.
But you know, because people are partisan, they don't see that. Who you fighting?
No.
If I say fight the government, I am hiding that is the BLP government.
It's BLP. So that's why I said no. The song was fine. That it was going to come across. Yeah, you're going to have some criticism because there is this. Like I said to you, I can't even walk around with a pair of red shorts on with someone accusing me of being, you know, part of some party. I'm wearing some red shorts. And I'm BLP because I got on red shorts. It's crazy. So no, that song is not about. It's not specifically about a party, but the party that's in is BLP.
Yes.
Okay. Because if it was BLP, their name would be in it too. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. So everybody, to stop calling me. You heard that, and she's a witness that I flagged the song and told her take out BLP out of it, and she's a writer. She did try though, and it wasn't fitting because you know you have to do. Those of you who write know all of these things
to make that our song. So it's okay. I'm good for the criticism. I would like to hear comments. If you don't like a song, that's okay too. You know, give me some lyrics. You know, Marcia, you know, I listen to what's in the comments and I write what people say.
I know.
That's it.
I know. And then, you know, I mean, people are messaging me for the gospel one. You know, there is a one, Arise.
Yes.
You remember Arise, Dave? And then we're going to go straight to Heather. Go into Arise, Dave. You can get that one, Dave. Arise.
And all right, Marcia, I want to thank everyone and be good, loyal opposition, and I'll see you on the road too.
Yes. So we'll be back on the road. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you on behalf of Barbados for what you're doing for Barbados. I see the love coming through. You and Vihoy and another one with I'm going to say it's Sue. I mean, these women are powerful. Heather. Powerful women in the diaspora, and Heather too. She's given a lot to Barbados. Sue has given her blood, and these are good people, very good people, and all the men out there. Let me add to know.
Barbados is family. You know, families not alike. You know, but we love Barbados.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Whatever it takes to keep Barbados going.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. We love you
Thank
too.
you.
God bless you.
All right. Good night.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow. I am so glad that. Go ahead, Dave.
Still we are standing proud and strong. With every trial we've grown in grace. Now is the time, let us take our place. We never tire, no, we never quit. Our dreams are alive, we are made Barbados rising, let freedom ring from east to west.
Oh my goodness, Heather, how are you? Can we hear you now? Let's see.
Yes, I can. I hope that it will not go out again. But the weather
Yes.
here is not good. It's been rainy all day because of nor'easter is
Mhm.
passing. So I think that that has affected the telecommunications. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Yes, yes. Well, we're just flowing, and we're family, and
Mhm.
it's live TV, so people understand what's happening. You look better, the lighting is better here. We can see you closer,
I
and
moved.
yeah, you
I
moved.
moved.
But Heather, honestly, people don't know that even the march that was done with the about the what help me again with the children GIS.
GIS.
You remember how we
Right.
worked on that?
That was a
Yes,
long time ago, but yes, we did
yes,
it.
we did.
Yes.
We worked on that, and we supported Marsha Hines
Yes, we
with what
did.
he was doing, and Tempu, and all of those ladies. And we worked as women. We worked
Yes.
together on that, and we hardly knew each other. And I honestly
Right.
want to thank you for what you have been doing and still doing under the cover. We can't say, but trust me, she's still working in here, but I can't say anything. I'm sworn to secrecy, so I will leave that alone there. But you, as someone in the diaspora, there's so much on your mind. As when I contacted you, you were saying there's so much and that you want to talk about. So I just want to let you go at it. What do you want to start with? Talk to me. What? Go ahead.
All right. First of all, I want to remind people, right, that even in back in the Bible, there were songs of resistance. And the one that came to mind when I was thinking today was this one that says, By the rivers of Babylon.
Mm.
There we sat down and here we wept when we remember Zion. And they asked God, How can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? That was a song of resistance and protest. So I am glad that everyone, at least some people, have risen to the occasion and are creating songs in protest of the things that are happening in Barbados, because it is the way that we will get to the people. Some people talk, some people can sing, but the voices will come together. The message gets to people in different ways. Today, I saw a guy, he had a video on TikTok. It was not in, let's say it was in French, but
Mhm.
some people understands French. So he would get his message to the people who that way of life is their expression. All right. And I want to encourage everyone to therefore support the artists who are writing songs. It is something that we must do. We must inspire them to do even better than they're doing now.
But
There were
Heather, can you remind us? Where in Barbados were you born? Where are your roots?
from Caneville and Christchurch. And
Christchurch.
my father was from Crane in St. Philip. And he
Ah,
lived, right, he lived in the US for about 40 years and he just died a few years ago.
yes.
But
And you have been
technically,
living. How long
pardon?
have you been living in the U.S.?
From 2007.
2007. So
Yeah.
you did secondary school in Barbados.
Yes, I worked in Barbados. I
You
had
worked.
worked as an economist for the government of Barbados, first
Wow.
at the Ministry of, I'm a trained economist. I worked for the government at the Ministry of Industry. It was industry then. And then then it changed the name and um it moved to where the gymnasium is on that stretch on
Mm-hmm.
the top hill. And it was there that I met Miss Isma. Miss Isma was the director of international business.
Ah, I see. I see. I
Yes.
see. That
Mhm.
okay. That makes a lot of sense. Oh wow! So
Mhm.
you are a trained economist, and you work as an economist in the
When I
government
was in Barbados, yes.
when you were in Barbados. That is wow. That
Yes.
is, and that's why your insight is
Right.
so amazing. Well, it's good to get everybody reacquainted with you. So, I see Clifford from St. Kitts is trying to get himself organized, and I will send his number to Dave, and they'll work out all the technical. But in the meantime, just go ahead and talk about the free movement, this citizenship bill, immigration bill. Take it away.
All right. I wanted to remind everybody there is this calypso. I didn't have the time to search for its name, but it speaks of the ambition of the Caribbean man. And it says that we are one man from the same place and that we are all headed in the same direction. But it emphasizes that this is the ambition of the Caribbean man. However, I remember when I was working at the Ministry of Industry, that was when the CARICOM CMSC was coming to light, I think it was. And if we can take a look at what CARICOM was, it was for regional integration of all the Caribbean countries, not just for 4 of them at all. And therefore, for 4 countries to, let's say, take up and join themselves together without the other islands makes absolutely no sense to me. Because integration, the end product of integration is you're supposed to be fully integrated, to have a common currency, same healthcare, same education systems, same different types of social systems. So it be the Caribbean literally joining together as one. So if you move from one place to the other, there will be no disadvantagement to anybody who lives in another place, and people would hardly pick up and move because but they wouldn't necessarily just run up and move because they'll be pulling up their roots and going to someplace else. But if they did move, they will be moving to the same wages, same everything. So there will be no major dislocations or they're putting other people as a disadvantage. And so free movement would have been an integral part of what CARICOM would have done. And there would be one, let's say it had moved to the stage where there was one currency. No Vincentians would wish to move. No, can you hear me?
Yes, hearing you loud and clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Vincentians would not wish to move. Why would I pull up my roots from where I am to be happy to go somewhere else to move where everything else is the same? Because we can recall, right, that people leave the islands to come to the US for a better life. But if the life is equally the same in all of the territories of the Caribbean, people will hardly move. And I think that is the vision that the founding fathers had when they came up with the concept of CARICOM, and that it would move to a single market and economy, and as well as a union, a monetary union. To me, that is where we must strive to be. It is a strive for equality and not have a big island and a small island concept of people and so on, because the world has, and in my opinion, the world has changed from where it was when the CARICOM leaders first sat down and spoke about this free movement of people. It was a totally different environment. And the world has, for example, let's say that you had a child 20-something years ago and you were to do something with that child then. Now the child is a man. How can you expect to do the same thing under the same conditions that you had prescribed back then? To me, it makes absolutely no sense. The whole idea of free movement should have been current, should be made current to the situations that we live in now. It is not the same now as it was then. And if I can go further, the something Mr. Thorne had mentioned, that it is not only for the people who live in the British West Indies, the former slave societies, it should be for the entire region, stretching from Cuba right down, including the ABC Islands, the French Islands, the Dutch Islands, and so on, even Venezuela. So to create an all-inclusive Caribbean community wherever this seashore touches should be the impetus where we should go, right? So to me, that would be the CARICOM. But when we have 4 states joining to it's as though they are creating the breakaway that was done when the Federation was forming back in I think it was the 50s or so, that they have recreated that same stance, their breakaway. So I wonder if, with all the things that are happening in CARICOM, in the Caribbean islands now, if CARICOM is really relevant. Because to me, it is not. How can you have 4 countries join together and doing as they please, and the rest of the territories not joining them? Something is definitely wrong with
Also, as Pedro was saying, that they have it's not really, it's not the same thing that the 4 has, but where people can travel to different countries and work, but they have to get a work permit and so on. But what Heather is saying, Pedro, there is a special arrangement that these 4 have among themselves, and what she's saying, it needs to be, this is what we need to have that for the entire Caribbean. But so continue, Heather.
One of the things I also thought about was that, since, in my opinion, that their idea of free movement is not what has happened, I wanted to know what recourse the people, for example, people in Barbados have, if they could complain to CARICOM, because you can't complain to the government. It's like complaining to the jailer if you are in jail. I wondered what recourse we would have if we complain to CARICOM to let them know that the situation that these 4 countries have created, how it affects us, and if the treaty and the amendment had stipulations in place of how the people will deal with this occurrence. And if we have noted, right, the heads of government, to me, the heads of government run CARICOM, right?
Right.
In my opinion, it is a talk shop, because they do not integrate the people. It is like this lofty institution, and the people is somewhere else scattered and apart from it. In my opinion, it is no longer relevant as it is.
Correct.
The body needs to be changed. It needs to become relevant to the people, the needs of the people in the Caribbean. And I'm going to move on. No, I don't want to move on yet.
Before you move on, there's somebody here, and I just want to remind Pedro that it's not just the citizenship that is the arrangement with the free movement, Pedro, but it's also the removal of the need for work permit. So you can, there are a couple of things happening. You can come and work without the work permit. You can get your permanent residence much faster, and your citizenship you can get in 6 months. So just to clarify that. So it's a bit more. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead, Heather.
I listened to the show last night, and we have the territories in the Caribbean. To me, they're not acting as a community. Everybody is doing their own thing. Because from what I learned last night, and I had saw something on the internet, St. Kitts Nevis has gone ahead on its own and is selling part of its territory to, the guy said he was a citizen, but of course he is not a naturalized citizen. He was born elsewhere and became a citizen of the country. We have Trinidad doing its own thing, Guyana doing their own thing with their oil. and it seems that it has become fragmented, in my opinion. So I wonder where the unity is. Oh, and another one, it was Grenada that the US is asking Grenada to have, I think it is could be something military, a military station there or something like that, that they had received a request
Yeah,
from.
Grenada. They
Yeah.
want to have a military station there, the
Right.
US.
And when the Prime Minister did confirm that he didn't say I'm meeting with CARICOM to have a discussion on this. So it looks to me as though we have become so fragmented that I wonder where the unity is within CARICOM. It is supposed to be there, but I don't see it.
Yeah. Well, on that note, stick a pin there. But I'm going to bring in Mr. Bob. Welcome, Mr. Bob, to the show. Good night, Mr. Bob.
Good night to the loyal opposition. Good night, Marcia. Good night to Heather.
Hi.
Good night. And I'm listening to you, and you're making so much more sense than the minister who presented the bill this afternoon. I hope he's listening to you.
I mean, she is, and she is a trained economist,
Yeah.
and had been an economist for Barbados under one of the governments. So it's good to have her here. And we also have Mr. Clifford Samuel Wesley. Is here with us, and he is Ras Idrin, and I've been telling you about him and why I paused, not just to welcome Mr. Bob, but also to welcome Ras Idrin, and to give him the opportunity to speak to some of what Heather is talking about, because he is from St. Kitts. And so I thought I needed to get him. We can barely see him because his lights is off. I'm not sure if he's aware that we're not seeing his face at all. Okay. Seeing a little bit of his face. There's no not enough light is there. If you could turn on your lights, if you are able to. If not, it's okay. But what we want to do, sir, is want to welcome you and just tell us a bit of what is happening in Nevis. I know you're in St. Kitts, but your sister island is Nevis. What is going on with this proposal of the sale of 10% of Nevis, and what are the people saying about it on the ground? Go ahead, sir.
Okay, greetings. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you loud and clear.
Thank you very much. What I can say, as a youth growing up in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, I've always learned that the lands in St. Kitts is under control by the government, which is patrimony and sovereignty of the nationals. That's in St. Kitts. But in Nevis, it's a totally different situation. Most of the lands are owned by the people.
Okay.
So when someone owns property and it does transactions of sale or rent or lease, what have you, it's a more technical situation because they have title to these lands and they have rights to sell at random, and that is the danger if their mind is not thinking about the unborn. Now, in St. Kitts, the masses have more of an opportunity to have an input or say so about how our lands must be dealt with. And hello, someone is calling me?
No,
Okay,
no.
yeah, so okay, sorry. So in St. Kitts is a totally different situation because we, the masses of the people, we are in position of sovereignty right. You see? And we have the right to protect our sovereignty, especially for the unborn. But lo and behold, the governments of the West,
Mm-hmm.
including the Caribbean region and even the international African diaspora, they are
Mm-hmm.
following the Westminster system that is causing our leaders to punch themselves in their face by receiving bribes from the Westminster system to keep us subdued and subordinated to the Westminster system, which is neo-colonization, modern day slavery. That's what it is. What we need to do as a people is to patronize that which is logical. Look at Abraham Chowne in Burkina Faso, West Africa. Look what he's doing for his people. Totally opposite to what our leaders in the diaspora and the Caribbean regions, most of them,
They're
look at what
doing.
they are
But
doing.
before you get there, before I want you to talk about Abraham Traore, but before you get there, talk to me about what's the local people in St. Kitts and Nevis saying to this man. He's out here on the streets, the screen, and we watched a bit of the video coming from, which is called Coming from Destiny, and all these great things that they're going to do. They're going to make it like Dubai, they said, and they want this 10%. What are the locals saying?
Let me tell you what the locals say by reality. You see, my face is very dark. You could scarcely see my vision here.
Yeah.
That's because they cut off my electricity.
Huh?
That is what our people. You see, you can scarcely see my face because my electricity was cut off.
Hmm.
So much things depends on electricity. We are living in the final age, the current age.
Yeah,
And
so
so
that
much
has to
things
do
are
with,
dependent.
yeah, but that has to
Electricity.
do with
And
with
if a
protesting.
government, hello?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand what that has to do with the response of the people concerning this proposal for Nevis.
What I'm telling you in a
Mhm.
nutshell, the hostile treatment the people is getting from the government.
Oh, I
That
see.
is the main issue on the table. That is the main issue on the table. And the fact is right here before your eyes. I'm without electricity. This should never happen. In Burkina Faso, Agent Chowne is giving free electricity to people, free education, free homes, free lands. What is our government doing? Are our
So,
government conscious people to know the importance of study the reality of the past known as history, where it has us today, what condition we are living in, what condition we're going to be living in tomorrow or in the next decade under this Westminster system that they are unleashing to us.
yeah.
That is
So
the
let me ask you,
situation here.
you know
People in
how
St. Kitts is suffering.
they're suffering, and thank you. Well, you know, I understand exactly what you're saying. So I want to know, are there people writing petitions to the premier of Nevis? Do they have protests? Are the people saying yes, bring it on? We want him to because they're promising so many things to the people of Nevis. Are they happy about this? Do they want it to happen, or are they protesting it?
Well, it is an uproar. It's an uproar because a lot of the people who even support these governments are disappointed with these governments because it's the same old, same old. A promise that is unfulfilled is a comfort to a fool.
Mhm.
So in the last election, people on both islands did not vote for no one because the people is looking for a recourse. I personally has created a mandate that matches the mandate in Burkina Faso under the stewardship and leadership of Abraham Chowne. This is a brother the whole Western Hemisphere, the whole African diaspora needs to patronize. We need to patronize the actions of Abraham Chowney. He is a godsend for the black race. And that's what the leaders in the Caribbean region especially needs to patronize. It's no if but or because there's no conjunctions here. It is the logistics, and we have to keep things logical if we want to survive as a people going forward.
Yes. Somebody's asking if the I think Square Four is saying that the people at Nevis had planned to march. Did they actually march?
You have to go and get permit to march.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just can't get up and march as you like or protest as you like, otherwise they will lock you up. Yeah. So you have to go through some red tape in order just to voice your grievances. I wouldn't even say opinion, but grievances. Because St. Kitts is among the top 5 of countries who are issuing the CBI, citizenship by investment.
Mm-hmm.
And among the top 5, St. Kitts is number 1. St. Kitts has made the most money. You're talking about billions of dollars, US dollars.
Wow.
And the people here are hungry. Just last week, Friday, 3 women were walking behind me. I just coming from the bank. And it seems like they were stalking me. And they're very desperate. But it's in the late, I pick up the monotony. I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Big women, one of them with a child. I'm hungry. They said it to my ears. But I wasn't sensitive enough at the time, because when I look back, they're smiling, but I can see agony on the face. I know the looks of hunger in the eyes. A lot of this is going on in St. Kitts because a lot of people who did not take the vaccine, they were left without a job. And when the country reopened in 2022, up until now, this is 2025, a lot of people have not have the opportunity to have a job, just squanting
Yeah,
from
because
what they
and I
can get
yeah, as I said, we were
from
going to
family and friends.
invite you back to talk about the vaccine, but I want to know. You're saying that the citizens by investment that they're in the top 5. In fact, you're asserting that they're number 1 and that they've made
Number
uh,
one,
right billions of dollars. No, so do you see these people who have received citizens by investment? Do you see them walking around in St. Kitts? Is it or is it that they get the citizenship and they're living somewhere else? Do you actually see them living there in St. Kitts?
well, yes, I seen Russians living here,
Wow.
and I seen, yes, I've seen them, and I've heard them speaking their Russian language, and I have seen an overflow, an influx of Chinese. They can pay handsomely for the CBI as well, and they are taking over a lot of shops, especially in the capital. And that means a lot because the capital is where you have the most market. And that is where they target. They target the capital and they target the ports. Port Zante, it is being leaked out that Port Zante is owned by the Chinese. When you're going to give up your port, you're basically giving up your country. And that is how sad the situation is in St. Kitts. That's why I have protests to run for election, because I have the mandate that represents the liberty of Burkina Faso under Abraham Chowney. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, well, we
Yes.
wish you all the best. You're saying that you see Russians there and you're seeing Chinese there. Do you have is there a
Yes.
number? I think we had a number last night, of the number of persons who would have gotten their citizenship by investment in St. Kitts. Do you know the number? How many persons that might have been?
Well, they try to be very intransparent, but you see, you can come to a consensus by just seeing what you're wrong. When you go into bars and taverns and places like that, you see the Russians in their groups because they hang out together. You see, they hang out together. The Chinese are not hangout people, but how you can observe and identify the presence of the Chinese is because the amount of storefronts they have taken over. Whether they buy them from the owners or they lease them from the owners, they are doing the business everywhere, almost every village, not just the town, but an influx of Chinese in the stores. People who had shops, Chinese is running them over. And I don't know the conditions of transactions between the owners of these places and the Chinese, but the Chinese is doing the most business
Yes. Yeah. But
because food contains the most business, the stock of life.
yeah. So Heather, what any questions or comments for Ross Idrin, because it's what we're talking about it, and we're concerned about Barbados heading in this direction. They are already there in my mind. And any thoughts between Mr. Bob or Heather? Anything you want to say to Ross Idrin?
Not at this time, but just to say that your land is your priority, and it's for, as you rightfully said, for future generations. And you need to make sure that it is not taken or stolen from you by the highest bidders. Um, I also have a friend who is from Nevis who said that they're treating it as a very serious matter and they're not going to lie down and play dead. Um, and she's hoping that we can at least get some person from Nevis to also speak on the matter as they see it happening there.
Yes, you can go ahead and send them the number right now, Mr. Bob, and send them the number or the link. They could come in. They don't have to turn on their camera, because let them call in or let them come in. Go ahead, Miss Cole, Heather Cole. Is there anything you want to ask Ross Idrin? Okay, you're muted. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to find out if they were organizing any petitions to boycott the Chinese, if they were doing any marches. What are they doing?
Ross Idrin.
Okay, what's going on? Yeah, what is really going on? You see, for example, the Indians, they used to be in St. Martin, but the St. Martin start walking into the stores and shooting them. St. Kitts has promised them asylum. So that is why the Indians is the next group of people that is here.
Repeat what you just said a while ago, please, sir.
Yes, this is a fact. The Indians were recently in flux in St. Martin in Front and Back Street. I've lived in St. Martin twice. I know how it runs. Front and Back Street, those are the two main attractions for market. And the Indians was who run in stores selling electronics, stereo sets, and all these kind of speakers and so on. So the St. Martin people used to go and shoot down the Indians in the store. A lot of shooting was going on there. Killing, murder. So St. Kitts leaders has promised them they can come to St. Kitts and they will be well protected by the St. Kitts government. They are here, and one of the main streets in the capital is 4th Street. And if you had 5 stores on 4th Street, 3 of them is run by Indians.
Wow.
If you had 10, at least 7 of them is run by Indian, and that is live and direct. Anybody can see that. And the Chinese, they're taking over the grocery storefronts. People who had shops and superettes and mini supermarkets. Chinese is taking them all. Everybody is giving up to the Chinese. Everybody, whatever deal they're getting, we don't know because most people used to live on the top floor of their marketplace, their business place. So you're not seeing them on the top floor now. You see the Chinese in the whole building, the entire building, the Chinese are occupying. So it looks like a lot of intransparency between private owners has been going on in St. Kitts as well. The people who owns property, they either sell or long-term lease, some kind of transaction is going on tremendously between the Chinese, the Indians, the Russians. They are the people here doing more business than Kittitians. Kittitians are facing the neo colonization system of working for minimal wage.
Mm-hmm.
Minimal wage that does not meet the cost or criteria of living. See what I'm saying? Minimal wage most of the time can only purchase food for 6 or 7 days for a week, and it's all by design.
Mm-hmm.
This amount of billions of dollars could have been spreading out to the benefit of the masses, to the benefit of patrimony. You see what I'm saying? It could have been spreading out to the benefit of sovereignty rights, especially for the unborn. But everybody is doing as they like to benefit themselves. And one leader came out because evil cannot unite. I'm a very spiritual person. Evil cannot unite. When you do evil, you're going to end up doing it to yourself and to those you do it with against others. You
Yes,
see,
yes.
one of the leader was saying he can call names because the fellow, it was a fallout amongst them, and
Mm-hmm.
he can call names as who has large sums of money on offshore banking.
Wow. But you
Yes,
know, Mr.
that
Mr. Bob, and let me see if I see Heather again. Heather. Okay. You know, we're listening to him, and he's talking about the CBI, the Citizens by Investment program in um, St. Kitts, and not so much Nevis, but in St. Kitts. And in St. Kitts, right now, thanks to Adrian, the number of passports, the number of sale of these passports that have happened, the number of new citizens that they have acquired through the Citizens by Investment is 35,577. Okay, that is I don't know what is the population of St. Kitts, but when you think about
the population of Saint Kitts and Nevis together is approximately under 50,000. So this is a next country within our country.
wow. So did you hear that, Mr. Bob? It's the population is less than 50,000, but they've sold citizenship to over 35,000 people. That's a crisis waiting to happen. The Chinese are taking over the grocery stores. The Russians are there. The Indians are there. What language are they going to end up speaking? What does that? What does this? What's the warning for Barbados, Mr. Bob?
You know, when we were first discussing this citizenship and immigration bill and the consequences, and I mentioned the passport and the straightforward passport and the discussion I had with one of my neighbors about people getting hold of the passport to ensure that they can get around the world because of its strength. And then on that same night, I mentioned that there are people living in some of our Leeward Islands and Leeward Islands who bought were citizens by investment. They were very rich. I was
Mhm.
asking the question, what does that mean? Are these same persons, will they be allowed to come through the same, using the same immigration process that we have now signed on to with these four countries, the three other countries, to come into Barbados? And because they're extremely rich, do they come in because they have the passport and allow, with their money, they can buy any place in Barbados, anywhere in Barbados? We are now setting up building hotels from the east to the west, from the north to the south. I'm not sure that they're building for, because the world have taught us not to depend on tourism. So I'm
Yes.
wondering what that they are planning for, because these people buy condos, they buy expensive properties, and they come in and take over your country. So I'm saying that the government, and the question was asked by the leader of the opposition today, do they also qualify for the citizenship? I'm not. I'm still waiting to hear the answer to that, because this is very dangerous for us in the future.
Yes, yes, yes. And I just want to commend Mr. Thorne again for a great job today in the house, in the lower house. Heather, do you have any concerns? Listening to Ross Adrian here, this is what's happening in St. Kitts, and we know the offer to Nevis, to buy, for them to purchase 10% of Nevis. What do you see any concerns to Barbados, Heather? Yes, unmute Heather. Okay, you're unmuted. Go right ahead,
Okay,
please.
good. It is still the same thing, they are selling out the inheritance of the children of Barbados. It is just that they are doing it on a more fragmented basis than they are doing it in Nevis. And as you said, all of these hotels, they do not belong to locals. And they have been doing this for quite some time. The government has been doing it for quite some time, selling out the inheritance or giving away the inheritance of the children of Barbados. They did it with Coverley, all of the land that they gave to somebody to build on. The children of Barbados will never get it back. And if we can also cite that Afrimex Bank project where they are building the hotel on Gemma's Lane.
Mm-hmm.
The people will never get back that land. And up to now, they have never stated who the bank bought it for. And there is no bank that I know in the US who is in the business of owning hotels. Banks lend money to investors to build. They can fool whoever they like, but not me. That property was bought for somebody else, not the bank. And it's a hotel. They say that they're building a central.
A development bank.
Right, a development bank, but it's not that. If you look at it, it is a hotel.
It is a hotel. I agree with you. It is a hotel, which they're still, by the way, and we have to look at this another time, trying to get Savvy to give up their land as well,
Exactly.
so that the bank can get it.
Yes.
So that's all part of what they're actually doing. But before I get back to Mr. Russ Idris, let me just check if there's any other comments or questions for him. So somebody said you do live in St. Kitts and not in Nevis, right? That's correct, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. What's your final word to us here in Barbados? What do you want to say to us before you go?
Well, I always say to people, the laws of logistic governs the courts of God in Zion. We have to keep things logical. We have to be for real. Because if we does not face the reality of the past that brought us to where we are in the present, we are but a tree without root, according to Marcus Garvey, the great legendary prophet in our time. We are to get serious as a people, and I'm very happy to see that our people did avoid voting for any of the politicians, because politics was introduced according to the Bible by those who call themselves Jews, and they are not. They are the synagogue of Satan.
Okay.
Also, the banking system also was introduced by them. We supposed to go back to our original roots. Is the only way. That is the most important topic, history. So we can
Yes,
see where we was faltered and to see what the effect from that faltering in the past, what he has done to us and what he
yes,
continues to do to us, because our leaders have taken up the ways of the past colonizers. It's called the Westminster system, and that is what is affecting us. That is the real bug in the rug, the Westminster system that our leaders are patronizing. Our leaders need to patronize that which is logistics that is going on in Burkina Faso, West Africa, with Abraham Chowny. That's what they
yes.
need to patronize.
Wow. Thank you so much, Russ Idrin, and thank you for, inspiring us and giving us the knowledge of what's happening in St. Kitts and a bit of Nevis as well. God bless you, and you have a wonderful evening. We're going to keep in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, sir. God bless. It's always good, Mr. Bob, to have
Yes.
people from the region to come on and, we hear what they're facing. Can you imagine you wake up and you're seeing Russians and Chinese and all these people from the, Indians all over the place. They're buying up. Is this what we want for Barbados? Guys, you are listening to this? Are you all listening to this? Wow. Yes. Wow. This is crazy. This is crazy. Mr. Bob, any thoughts?
It's just that we have the reason why we like to share with our brothers and sisters around the region is that we need to learn from their experience
Mhm.
and how it's affected them and their properties. And we were fortunate over the years to have governments who did not see this as a way of getting easy money to fill our coffers, but we have borrowed so much, and we have to find a way to pay it back. And I
Mhm.
suspect if we are complaining about taxing, and you can't tax, you can only tax so much to the point that you become so unpopular that you have to find ways in which you can refinance your debt, repay your debt, and so I suspect that our current government is always looking for ways. When you see the bills and what they present as fines, exorbitant fines for the lawbreakers, they create situations where like they tip to make criminals. So therefore, you collect money. You create a situation for those persons who are encouraged to be investors. And now you turn around and introduce a bill which will criminalize them if they do not meet some of the stipulations to own an Airbnb property. And then you slap $250,000 on them. This is a money making government because they have borrowed so much, and I think that some of them are having sleepless nights trying to trying to find out how are we ever going to pay back all of this. So therefore, there's always this hunt for money. How before borrowing much more, how much more we can get. And so if we see citizenship in Barbados to the extent of by investment, we know where they're going.
Yes, yes. Again, it will be to
And
rake in the dollars. Heather, any comment on that? Because yes, go right ahead. Unmute, Heather. Thank you.
Good. Okay, good. There is something that I find that is quite puzzling. I think it was last week or a week before when Mr. Commission, I did watch a recording that he was on CBC TV, and he was asked about the free movement, and he said it was progress, right? That is what he said. Those
Mhm.
were his words, but yet he never explained or defined what this progress was. They're telling people that this is something that is good, but not telling them exactly what is good about it. If it is progress, you should be able to tell me, well, yes, when people come, our job market will be expanded, that Barbados has so much jobs to offer, that we don't have people to work. But that is not the case. So he has not listed any benefits. He did not list any benefits that would come from this movement of people into Barbados. Not one. Anybody can go back and listen to it. So to me, what they're trying to tell people and what is reality is not matching up. You know, you can fool some people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all of the time.
Yes.
Right. So there is this, it's at odds what they're trying to do and what the reality is. And that is what people must remind them of each time they speak about it. Where are the jobs that these people will fill? You're encouraging them to come, but come to do what? And there is no housing. And if they bring, let's say a lot of people came, I saw an article in the paper recently where it says that the cost of renting houses has increased. And if a lot of people come, you know what the homeowners will do? They will start renting rooms, which is not the culture of Barbados, really. And then you're going to have like 3 and 4 people living in a room, something that you don't really want, because that really breeds a bad type of poverty. It adds to the burdens that society already has, and that is not what is needed in Barbados. So definitely, if I had to do this, I would never do free movement at this point in Barbados' history, based on the reality that it is, that the way the world is now. Because we have fascist governments on the rise all over the place, and everybody is thinking of themselves and getting riches. It's not about the people. I would never have done this, never, not in a million years, not right now.
Not right now.
Had to come together to support one another in order to get this done. And also, this free movement does not include Haiti. Why? Those are the people that are desperate to move. They're always running to the US. And it makes no sense. Why are you advertising something that is free to move? You say the other territories say that they're not coming, but no mention has been made of Haiti. Why?
Very good question and analysis. Let me just Mr. Dave, if we can put up the article with that, where the Prime Minister was saying that in 2022 the plan is to establish a free zone in Barbados, and I would love if the leader of the opposition could let us know if this free zone bill has been brought to the House, because we want to know what's in this bill. What does she mean by free zone? So Dave, if you could put it up, because I want to talk to us. Just share a little bit, guys, on some of the concerns that we need to have about this free zone. And exactly what is it? So Nevis has a free society, right? There's the Nevis proposal, and it's a proposal for a free society, and that's a more radical concept where they're proposing a semi-autonomous governance kind of a thing with a sovereign state, right? And that for sure, we understand from last night when we did a show with Miss McLean that is driven by private investors. And we had a video with one of them talking and telling us how great it is. It's so like it's going to be heaven when they're finished. Now, the free zone is a little bit different. The free zone that our Prime Minister is proposing for Barbados and for areas like Bridgetown would be a designated area with special legal, Heather, and with special legal, regulatory, or tax incentives, right? And all of that is applied to encourage foreign investment. So that is the free zone. So here it is. It's proposed in Nevis for free society, and our Prime Minister is talking about a free zone. And so, as Barbadians, we should be alert of the possible loss of legal or political control over parts of the economy or parts of the land. And that is just based on other places, which we're over the different nights, we're going to go through and look at other places that have had the free zone. And so, while we're promised that, you're going to probably get a lot of jobs will be created and so on, these are some of the, what they would say, the red, the alerts then that we need to be careful of, that we need to be alerted of. Unbalanced privileges for foreign investors versus locals, because they did say that they will offer tax haven, tax incentives. And you know what I'm thinking of, guys, is the Afri-Exim Bank is something very similar, where they are you remember they don't pay taxes, right?
Yes.
Then we have a weak, so we have unbalanced privileges and for foreign investors versus locals. Then there's weakened labor, right? Environmental and consumer protections, because again, they're doing their own thing. It's all about who's going to make the biggest profit. So therefore, they can come in and they can probably pay people what they want to pay. Reduce democratic accountability and transparency, because the free zone is a designated area that will have their own legal, regulatory, or tax incentive applied to them. So, right, so it's a designated area. So, reduce accountability and transparency, the risk of land loss, displacement. The people in Bayland, you already know, you got your letters already, right? Or restricted public access. So these are things that we need to be mindful of when the Prime Minister speaks of free zone. We need to know exactly what it is that she means by this free zone. And this was in 2022. I have not heard anything more about it. Has it been passed already? Is it happening in Barbados? Has it been enacted? Mr. Bab, any comments there, Mr. Bab, on that?
I will not be surprised if once the question is asked tonight, that we find out that it has been done.
Wow.
So, but we need to ask these questions because this is our country, and if we are supposed to go by what has happened there on Bay Street, when you give away land and you give them their own, they have their own diplomatic rights, even on Barbadian soil.
Mhm.
Then we wonder if that wasn't the test of this free zone legislation here.
Yes, because they are that's who keeps coming to mind, right? That was what it was all about. It is the Afri-Exim Bank is in that free zone, and it realized it's in Bridgetown. So is the Pierhead project is that part of that free zone as well? You see what I'm saying? Because it's the man Isdell, remember? I think it's Robert Isdell, who was the director for Coke, right? And he is the one that is investing into the Pierhead project. So one has to wonder if that is already a free zone. And guys, I need you to follow what is going on, pick up on this, research some more on it, and send us the information. When you say you want to make, Heather, and we found the information on that. Thank you to those who sent it to me. They're going to make Barbados, Dubai on steroids.
Marcia, they were also going to build islands in the sea. Remember?
No, tell me about that.
Yes, that was in the manifesto it was 2018, that the government was going to build islands off the south coast of Barbados.
Yes, that's true. I read that.
What year would they have started?
They haven't started. They haven't done it.
But like most things in the manifesto.
Right.
Oh my goodness, they were going to build islands, and you think those islands were going to be for us? This is
listen,
part of the
no,
whole thing. Go ahead,
the whole
Mr.
thing, yes. And these people, and I think that at that time, if more people go back now and read that manifesto and saw that, they wanted these people crazy. But we were so angry at another government that we did not listen to logic. We got carried away with our anger, and I'm saying now we are reaping the the fruits of decision made at the height of us being an angry people. And I'm saying that we should never make that mistake again. That we
So
become so
true.
angry that we don't sit and analyze and think through what a government has placed in a manifesto. That we don't see past the lights and the drink and the food of any government. I don't care which side it is. If they try to coach their platform and all of this, look out, the devil is in the details. So you have to look for it to see where we are being led astray or we're being distracted from the real issues of the day. And I suspect that some of the legislation is a bigger picture, or trying to fulfill a bigger picture of what they want to do for their for part of their own program.
Yes, yes, yes. Someone sent this to me. It says the Dubai on steroids phrase refers to the ambitious 200 million period project, a major redevelopment of Bridgetown's historic waterfront, designed to transform the area into a modern, vibrant district while respecting its heritage. The project is being developed by investor Neville, not Robert, Neville Isdell, with the support of Prime Minister Mia Mottley. Okay, so so it was said, and that it's going to be Dubai on steroids. But you all remember when they took a whole almost a plane load of people to Dubai? Who remember
I
that?
do remember,
Yes, I do.
yes.
Yes,
I
of
do
course.
remember.
Friends, family, and minions.
So the question is, yeah, very interesting. And they said that somebody was saying Maloney was supposed to build those islands, and they promised all of these things. And do we think is it something that is going to come up later? Is that part of the free zone? And some of these, when we think of even the human trafficking, we haven't even started. Listen, Heather, we haven't even started to look at this issue really, deeply as yet. The connection with human trafficking to some of these free societies and free zones and these places where people basically, they get a part of an island, or they get a whole island, and they do whatever they want to do. I believe there's some connection here with human trafficking.
What the government really needs to realize is that realize and take into consideration with everything that they do is that Barbados is only 166 square miles. That is the very first thing that is to be considered before they go into any project at all, but it is never done. Our size is always an afterthought. How are we going to build? I think there were 5 islands or whatever on the south coast of Barbados. How? To me, is not practical. They can establish a free zone, but to displace the people in Bridgetown, where they're going to put the people? Remember, the government is not building any low-income housing. Where they expect these people to go? They're going to just throw them one side or kick them out the island, as seen to be the plan with the students. Sometimes I think that the government they do lack people who have a vision for Barbados. That's where they need to start, first of all, to find out where they want us to be in a specific amount of time that does not have outside influence determining what we do. The people in Barbados can do that for themselves. And to go back to this mirror image concept that Barra gave of Barbados, that we allow our leaders to have contempt for the people who live here. We allow them to do what they want to do to us, and we don't speak out about it because we're deaf and dumb. But
Yes.
it's time that it's time for this to change, honestly, because it is not going the right way. It will no longer be Barbados as we know it. That's the way how I see it.
Yes, yes. Well, guys, believe it or not, I looked at the time and I'm like, what? It's 9:56.
It's that time already.
It is that time already. It is that time already. Oh my goodness. Somebody's saying that the PAIR project is a brainchild of Billy Miller. And I guess they are coming now to make sure that it is, is carried out, etc. And I think whenever people question anything, they like to say you're not, for development, etc. But it can be development, and you are not, you don't think of the people, the people
Exactly.
who live there.
Right.
And I went into the Bayland area, and they told me that some of them told me that they've already received letters that they're going to move them. So yeah, and so that all of this is happening. I'm sure some of the people want to be moved, but it's a matter of where are you taking the people, where are they going? So wow, yeah, yes, they're all of Miss Ram there, and they want to move Savvy. They want Savvy, and it's not their land, and they want to force him. They still are trying to force Savvy to sell. They want that land, and that man has done such a tremendous work there. And what we're told is that they want to make like a bridge from the bank, from the hotel bank there at Africa Exim. They want to make a bridge to go over into where Savvy is, so that they can use the beach.
Wow.
So they therefore will just take up his land, and they want to they still are after Savvy's, after that man's land. Isn't that something that doesn't belong to them?
Marcia, there's something else that I wanted to say that actually came to mind today. Back in slavery, right? They had people who we call absentee proprietors. They actually owned the plantations, and they were never there, right? They had other people looking after the plantations, like the overseers. The Prime Minister of Barbados has become rather an absentee proprietor.
Oh dear.
Never on the island. And the people that she left in charge don't do anything when she is not here, which is even worse than the overseers.
I am telling
I'm serious.
I love the analogy. I love the analogy because this is their big plantation. Yes.
Yes.
Because we're on this big plantation, and they are the colonizers. I totally get it. I totally get it. But let me ask you before I go to Mr. Bob. Have you ever voted, Heather?
Yes. I did go to Barbados to vote in the 2018 election. However, I see no reason why I should have to leave here to go to Barbados to vote. I own property in Barbados. I should be able to vote even if I didn't have property. I believe that I am entitled to vote in the Barbadian elections.
But the last time you had to literally take a flight here.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes,
It not always be convenient for anybody to do.
Yeah, so you would like for them to make the arrangement, where you can actually vote in New York, where you live.
Yes.
And that is not because you want to vote. How important do you think it is to vote? There was a gentleman on here tonight, and he said, he's basically alluding to the fact, although he's saying he's running, which is interesting. This is my friend Clifford. I'm going to talk to him off air about it. He says he's running in the next. He's going to be a candidate, but then he's saying, it seems to be not encouraging people to vote. And this is always a running conversation. We had a young man on here the other night, and he said he doesn't vote. And so there's a running conversation about that. How important it is, you think, or not important for people to vote? What are your thoughts about that, Heather?
It is important to vote. I think that the breakdown occurred when we stopped teaching civics in school in Barbados, because people don't know how to weigh that importance anymore. We have a set of people who live in the island and don't understand how government runs or functions or anything like that. So we need to get back to the basics, start teaching civics back in school so that people will understand. From the youngest child in primary school, have a program that is adapted to them, because that is where you sensitize them politically, not running after a party. You have to teach them to understand what politics, what adult suffrage was all about, the what it meant to the people who were first allowed to vote back in the day. We don't teach those things. So we have a set of people who are really not living in reality. So they would accept anything that anybody push in their face. So we need to start right with the right foundations. Have a civics program from primary school up. That is what is required. Teach them the basics so that they will understand.
But Mr. Bob, as we close, people said, and I think, or even our guest tonight was alluding to the fact that, well, to his reality, and there are people here who believe that, well, why be part of this madness? None of these parties will help. Bearing in mind that you have the government, right, and you also have about four other parties,
Right.
including the DLP. But they said that there's no alternative. There's no why. But then you guys are telling me to vote.
I think that that is that kind of rhetoric is being pushed around because for the incumbent party to stay in power, it is better for them that fewer people voted. So they will subscribe to that kind of thinking. But I'm saying to all Barbadians, young, old, and first-time voters, that your vote is your voice. Your vote is your power. Your vote determines what type of future you have. We have a system within Barbados and in developing countries, Canada, United States, the UK, where you have a two-party system. You're either in one election and you're displeased with your current leaders because, and for some reason, they're not doing what you expected, and then you go to the other one. That has happened for years and is happening all over the world. You have in other jurisdictions where because they have so many different ethnic influences that they may have multiple parties who may very well you have coalition governments because, especially in Guyana, you see it sometimes in Trinidad and those places because of the makeup of their population and how the influences are when they go to the polls. But in Barbados, we have for over the all for from the time of the suffrage, two parties. You look at the issues, you look at the manifesto, you look at how they have responded for the two terms that were given that you have elected them, and you decide, no, we have a right to choose the other person. Then you play the fool and get rid of you too. And that is the type of control that we have to maintain as a people when we are considering voting. So to sit at home and say I'm not participating in the system, you're saying to the persons to the party who is in power, the government that is power, you have the leeway to do as you like because I am not really for this system. Where we should be saying, in fact, we trust you this time, but you're not working our interests. Let us try some person else. And
Yeah,
you have to encourage the other parties out there, the smaller parties, to start building because the DLP came out of, we should say, it came out of the BLP. At one time we had the NDP, but that did not stay around for a long period of time. But I'm saying that we have a situation in Barbados. We are displeased. We were very displeased with the DLP in 2018, and we made a decision. We are equally or even more displeased with this current government because they promised so much and delivered so little. Let us make a decision on that basis.
Yeah, and Jacqueline is saying that the people, thank you, Mr. Bob, the people voted for the BLP and look at the situation. Plus, they lied and didn't do what they said that they would do, and it is for that reason that some people who believed in them, they are now saying that they're not voting. But as I said to somebody this morning, Jacqueline, that their thing is that I should not be telling people to vote on this. When I do that, then I'm getting partisan, political. Okay, I'm involved in partisan politics if I tell people to vote. And I said to them, if I don't tell people to vote, if I come on here and I'm telling Barbadians don't vote, I'm basically taking away from them, Heather, the only control that they have, the only legal, and Mr. Bob said it, the only way that they could truly influence what is happening. And then they say, but they might put those in and they didn't do good. But then you use the only thing that you have and take them out. There are some countries like my country that they will go and burn down the place. How is that helping? That is not helping, for my grandchildren and their children if I go and burn down the place. Okay? The only way to influence what is happening, the only legal way, is your ex. And they know that, Heather. They know that, Jacqueline. That's why they come and ask you for it. And they behave nice to you. And they tell you lies to get it. You see? So what it is that you must be ready.
Yes.
And be a people so educated that they're scared of you. You see? They don't know. You see what I'm saying, Heather? They're so scared of you because at any minute you could turn on them.
Yeah.
You're watching them. You're watching them. You don't do the work, we move in you. And as I said on the show, it don't matter if you put a stick there. These people that came in, Jacqueline, they made us believe that they were so smart. They could do the work. Oh, please. We are way better than the ones that were before. And a lot of us believe that they were smarter. Look at the condition of our country. Look at the condition of our country. And that's why I say, without any question, without any apology, vote them out. And I will continue to do that because when I say that, it's empowering to the people of Barbados. I would be irresponsible to come on here and tell you not to vote. You see? A very half a minute, each of you, final words. Go ahead, Heather. Heather, you're muted. Okay, I did. Yeah, go ahead.
Another point that adds to this thing they were speaking about now is the manifesto. The manifesto should never start with the government. The idea should come from the people. When the politicians come around, you people must tell them what they want, not what you're willing to give. We have had a hospital that has needed. We need a new hospital in Barbados. Government after government don't do anything about it. So it's time to let the politicians know what we want.
I agree.
Right. Another quick point, another analogy with slavery. What the plantation owners used to do was to give the slaves rum and throw, like we would call a fete. Throw a fete for them, give them rum, and they'll get drunk and behave rowdy, behave really bad. And the next morning, they were so ashamed of themselves, they would run off to the fields and work. And this is what this government does. And when they run off to the fields, they won't be thinking about what happened to them. They want to escape. So what the government does is doing now is the same thing, giving people facts, giving them everything to prevent them from thinking about what the government is actually doing, right? That is
Correct.
what they must think about.
Correct. Before the final word is Mr. Babs, as we're going to close tonight. I should have apologized for the absence of Mr. Glenn Murray. And oh my goodness, I can't close yet. Oh no, I cannot close yet, or I'm going to be in trouble if I close the show and do not call Mr. Young. Why do I keep forgetting that? I have it on my list. He's not going to be pleased. I tell you, I have to call Mr. Young. Dave had everything set up. This is Mr. Young here, Victor Young on the screen, guys. And Mr. Young has been placed fourth in the entire world. Mr. Young is with Victor Young in the entire world in the seniors games. And I really wanted him to come on tonight. And I think he's going to be very upset with me. As you know, I went to the airport. And for some reason, I keep forgetting, even though I have it written down, you know. Good, he's on the call thing because I know I'm not going to live this one down.
Not available to take your call.
Oh boy, he's gone to bed.
Gone to bed.
So I'm not gonna hear the end of it, but but no, I will do it another night. I know he was resting tonight. Everything for a reason, Mr. Young. Everything for a reason. So we will call him. Yes, is it Victor's sleeping now? But Victor did very well, and so we want to celebrate him, and I wanted him to come on to tell you himself. Okay. So, Mr. Bob, let's close. And what's your final word? And we're gone.
Yes. When we participate in the voting process, we all cannot go to the House Assembly, but the country must be led. So we hire persons called politicians to look after our business and our well-being. When they don't do that, we fire them. If we don't vote, we give away our power of hiring and firing. So we have to vote.
Yes.
And when we say we're not voting, we give them we allow them to be seen as the employers. We are the employers. And we have to maintain that and let them know that we are going, when you come and ask us to allow you to represent us, we expect you to look after our needs. The minute that you're doing, we're going to fire you. So we have to hold on to the power of hiring and firing our employers.
Wow, I like that. The hiring and firing, and that is a power we have. We have that power. The only what is the people, you know, and that is so very important tonight. As you know, it's Monday night, and normally Mr. Glenn Murray would be with us, but he is doing surgery on his eye, and we did speak today, and he's getting better. And did it last week, and he told me that he might be back on earlier than he thought. So he might miss about 2 weeks or so, but he might be on earlier than he thought. So you missed him tonight, and so that's what has happened to him. Rose had some family concerns and some family matters she was addressing, and so she told me I think it's anytime after the 15th that she would be back. So. Well, thank you, Heather, for joining me tonight. And thank you, Mr. Bab. Thank you, Russ Idrin. And, Michelle for calling in. Michelle actually spoke to us for 24 minutes. I'm hoping to have Mr. Gill, because I think we've got the telephone stuff sorted out. So, Mr. Gill, that's what I want for you to come and to make a presentation like that. 25 minutes with us on the phone. Mr. Gill, I'll give you a call. Okay. And again, guys, thank you for joining. I love the idea of the manifesto. And I think this is something that we've been talking about, Heather. you know, along with some of those in the diaspora, that we are going to put together some manifesto items from the loyal opposition that we can present. This is important to us. This is what is important to us. And I think that those things need to be looked into.
900 and something. 900
Yes. Yes. Thank you all very, very much. God bless and have a great, great morning.
Yeah.
This is anybody, bros.